I mean, this is interesting. And Francis, let me come back to you.
Yes.
I think if you look at it from the two of you, from what you have said so far, COVID has not really been all that bad. In as much as a lot of companies have been wiped off and some are struggling, I think one key issue that I want us to delve into is the issue of business process management.
Right.
Now, from your standpoint, Francis, tell us what, from your professional perspective, do you think SMEs and startups are getting wrong? And what can they do to right the wrongs? Now, before you say that, let me go online and tell our participants or attendees that please, you can send in your questions, just type them, use the chat room, send in questions, and these fine gentlemen are going to do justice to your questions for you. So, Francis, tell us, what are SMEs getting wrong when it comes to business process management?
It's a great question, Emmanuel. I think I like simplicity.
Sure.
Yeah. So we can talk about what is a business.
Exactly.
Yeah? And for one to be in business, you need to identify something that you can supply to others by way of a good, or something that you can do for others by way of a service, and those people are willing to pay for it.
Sure.
And it's as simple as that.
Simple as that.
And then aim to do it as a
Can you repeat that? I mean, I think it's important. And Francis, I'm asking you to repeat this because
Yes.
Before we started, we prayed.
Yes.
And part of the reason why we prayed was because we believe that in Africa we pray more than any other continent.
Exactly.
And yet Africa is poor. So what is it that we are getting wrong that we need to right here? So that statement, from the point of view of business, is key. Please say that again.
In fact, before even I say it, let me even take a couple of steps backwards. Yeah,
Precisely.
because we as children of God,
Sure.
We are on earth to serve others.
Cool.
So business is about serving other people. So you have to identify, you have to do some research and say, what do people want? In 20 years ago, we never used to have this product.
Sure.
We just used to go to the fridge and, to the tap and boil water, put it in the fridge and wait for it to cool down and drink. And now you cannot live without it. So business is about identifying a need, and it could be a good, it could be a service.
Sure.
And try to deliver that service, deliver that good as efficiently as possible. And make sure that you paid for it.
Sure.
Now, business process management. So business, to run a business, you have processes, activities, tasks that are linked.
Sure.
And you need to manage those activities, those tasks, in such a way that you have a seamless operation for you to have an efficient business. And it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So if you're a startup, you could say, oh, business process management is very difficult, very concept. You need accountants, you need lawyers, you need whatever.
Yeah.
It's a set of processes for you to do your A, get it to B, deliver it to C,
Sure.
and get paid, and even do it better,
Right.
and better, and better.
Sure.
So it's very, very important to have processes within your business
Sure.
that help you streamline your operations. So business process management is not for big companies, it's not for big conglomerates, it's not for big multinationals, it's for each and every single person who is in a business.
Right.
Remember, a business requires you to have a connection and interlinkage of so many things happening at the same time. People are offloading stuff, others are delivering, others are paying, others are invoicing, people are doing the payroll, others are, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's a warehouse, whether it's a consulting firm like ours, and you have so many activities going on at any one time. And the objective is to make it seamless. All the entire procedures and processes and functions have to be functioning in a manner that enables you to have one complete operation.
Sure.
And that's what it's all about. So if you're a startup, if you're an SME, don't think business process management is a very big, complex thing for multinationals. It's for you, what's your business? What do you sell? What service do you provide? How are you doing it? Can you do it better? Can you do it better than the competition? Can you even create demand? Can you even tell your customer that actually they need water, but maybe they need it warm?
Exactly.
Can you even tell them that even there's water which is sparkling? Can you tell them that there's another bottle which is easier to hold? And even end up creating demand. And what I like with startups, and I would like to hear from Eric, at what point does one cease to be a startup? Because they are very agile, they're really nimble, they are very entrepreneurial, and at times when they grow, then they get sort of sluggish, and then process and procedure and bureaucracy, and anybody who is in a startup business, continue the startup mindset, regardless of how big you've come, because that will ensure that you are always on the top of the game.
Right.
Yes.
So let's take your business, not PricewaterhouseCoopers,
Yes,
which
please.
I would say multinational.
Yes.
But let's go into your fish
My fishing business.
business.
Yes.
Can you give us a practical example of how this process flow is typically, so that the young startup in say Botswana or South Africa who is listening to us, who is into restaurant, can then learn some lessons from that sort of practical side of it?
So in my fish farming business, we do fish in fish ponds, and there is a whole operation of stocking the ponds, having feeds of the right type, of the right mix, the feeding hours, and also checking the quality of the water every now and again, and then having charts checking the weight of the fish and how you're doing, and then you have your feed conversion ratios, and you don't need to go to university and being a biologist. My guys that I work with are very, very basic guys, but then I get them to see the big picture.
Sure.
I tell them that if we start off with a fingerling, which is about 2 milligrams, and we feed it well and we manage it well, and that's all processes, for a period of 9 months,
Sure.
we should have a tilapia which is 250 grams. And that is going to be sold on the local market. They used to buy it in bulk, the business I told you earlier on in terms of export. Now we get it, and actually we then go to the market. We created the market in the local markets, by telling them that we actually have fish. They came to see it. Then they wanted to buy bulk. We said, no, we cannot give it to you all in bulk, but you tell us how much you want.
Yeah.
Then we worked with the value chain, the border guys. We gave them crates, we gave them ice blocks, and they were then able to deliver the fish to the market.
Wow.
So that, and in that process, we created
A lot of jobs
as well. So you then have your guy, you tell him, this is the target weight, this is how much you should be getting, this is the cost to get this item on this weight, and this is the margin. And guess what? I pay them based on a profit-related pay as well. So you give them a basic salary just to keep, make ends meet,
Sure.
but you get them to visualize the big picture that if we offload 4 ponds of 10,000 fish, we can make this kind of money, and 30% is yours after costs. And those guys own that business even more than me.
And
I
they
can
can
afford
get
to
more
run.
profit than you.
I can afford to run PwC here in town.
Yes.
Very comfortable that I've got 8 people
Wonderful.
looking after 10 ponds, 40,000 fish, and we make money.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with Rwandair today. Rwandair, the safest airline in Africa.
Rwandair, fly the dream of Africa.
So we pick travelers, our typical customers are people flying in and out of the country. So we pick those from the airport to wherever they're going and back. And we do this through a network of driver partners for whom we give regular business and improve livelihoods. They can book through WhatsApp, they can call us, they can email us. We just try to make it as simple and convenient, as seamless as possible for our customers.
The Digital SMEs and Career Mentorship Program. The world economy has undergone a massive digital transformation and created a need for startups to adapt to these technologies. We intend to help save women and youth-focused businesses with the skills required to stay relevant. Join the movement today. Register today. HCI, working together to change the startups and SMEs narratives of Africa.